Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sustainable Finance Podcast, brought to you by Ceres. I'm Paul Ellis, your host for these programs about developments in this fast-growing industry. When Enel Americas Integrated Annual Report for 2021 was published, the company had 10.9 gigawatts of net installed renewable energy generating capacity. My guest for today's Sustainable Finance Podcast episode is Enel Americas Chief Financial Officer, Aurelio Oliveira, and we're going to discuss Enel Americas' current and future plans under the firm's sustainable value creation model and its mission, new energy technologies and uses, and new forms of energy management. But before we start, I want to say a few words about our sponsor. I'm thrilled to talk about the important work Ceres is doing. Ceres is a nonprofit organization working with the most influential capital market leaders to solve the world's greatest sustainability challenges. Through their powerful networks and global collaborations of investors, companies, and nonprofits, Ceres drives action and inspires equitable, market-based, and policy solutions throughout the economy. To learn more, go to ceres.org/podcast. That's CERES.org/podcast. At Ceres, sustainability is the bottom line. Hello, Aurelio, and welcome to the Sustainable Finance Podcast.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure.
I'm very glad you could join us today, and we're going to jump right into the questions that we've discussed. Aurelio, since 2016, your company has increased its EBITDA by more than 69%, while increasing activities without direct CO2 emissions by up to 89%. Enel Americas Group's net profit in 2021 was US $741 million, representing a 31% increase as compared to 2016. The company's business results suggest that the sustainable value creation model is working. Congratulations. Tell us how Enel Americas is planning to further reduce CO2 emissions during the next 3 to 5 years.
Yes, Paul, and having a pandemic during this period, it's and a war. I know, but it's a part of the environment of the world today. But it's been we have a big growth during this period. Enel Americas is in South America, basically in Latin America. We are in Brazil, in Colombia, in Argentina, in Peru, also in Central America, in Panama, Costa Rica, and Guatemala. During this period, Paul, we do M&A activities, increasing our customer bases, increasing our energy distribution companies. We had a growth of 10 million clients in Brazil. So today we have more than 26 million points of connection. As you said, 10.9 gigawatts of installed capacity. Now we have almost 16 gigawatts of installed capacity.
Fantastic.
Two-thirds of this capacity comes from renewable source. I mean, hydro, solar, and wind. During this period, we purchase companies, we do a merger, and we build a lot. We have a lot of greenfield projects in renewables. So to reach this, we have a pipeline of almost 66 gigawatts to be built in the coming years. So that's our focus for the coming years, increasing our renewable source and renewable capacity, increase organically our clients base. It's important to mention that to have a successful journey in this utility for us is to be positioned in each value chain of the industry, and of course providing the cheapest and reliable energy, which is the renewable sources. So that's our focus. And with the clients, we are promoting more and more the electrification for electric vehicles, smart lighting, demand response, taking advantage of this low consumption, energy consumption of our people in our region, and to increase the electrification, reducing at the same time decarbonization, which is one of the focus of our company. So you mentioned these numbers. And I always remember, for example, the impact that we had with the pandemic in 2020. It was a huge impact for everybody. But we maintain our operation, maintain our focus. Of course, right now, to build this capacity, we have almost 9 billion to invest in the coming years. Right, in the next 3 years, but of course we are being more selective in this investment because the cost of capital is higher. But anyway, not losing track of this decarbonization process and invest in renewables in our region.
Good. That's a very good starting point for the rest of our conversation, Aurelio. Enel's ESG ratings are included in industry indices tracked by 5 rating agencies and CDP for climate risk. These ratings are made through specialized methodologies to measure ESG management and are essential to support investors and analyst decisions regarding the identification of ESG risks and opportunities in investment portfolios. So tell our listeners how Enel ranks and with which rating agencies.
Yes, Paul. We are in the MSCI, and we maintain our AA in our position. We are in the S&P Dow Jones Sustainable Index. We were 81. Now we are 85 in the position. We are in the FTSE Russell. We are 4.1. We are in the Moody's ESG Solutions. We are 56. Refinitiv, we increased it a lot. And Refinitiv, it's an interesting rating because it considers a lot, gives a lot of effort or lots of focus in diversity, which is a very important focus for us. And as you mentioned, we are in the CDP for the first time with position 8. I mean, of course, this is important not to be better than the other companies, but to influence other industry to do the same. I mean, it's a positive cycle that we want to create with this. Of course, we are not working to be ranked. We work to build our strategy, and this is a consequence of our results, our work. We have all this ESG integrated in each decision that we make, short term, medium term, or long term. This analysis is a part of our business. It is part of our. Of course, it needs to be profitable. If not, it's not sustainable, right? It's not charity. But the great thing here is that when we do business integrated with this SEG transparency, ethics, treating the diversity very well, high standards, being transparent with our shareholders, with our minorities, and of course, doing business with environment in the first place. I mean, this is amazing how you can make money, be profitable, and of course, doing good things. So all of these rankings that I mentioned is the recognition of this work, right? But the focus here is to do business in a very sustainable way. So we are proud, of course, but I mean, this is an improving process, is continuous improving process. And as I told you, not to be better than any company, but create this environment to other companies join us, because the challenge is that we have a huge challenge, in terms of climate change, in terms of inequality also, which is a big, I think, worldwide. But in Latin America, after the pandemic, we have the situation worsened, and so companies needs to be part of the solution, not waiting only for the government, not waiting only for institutions, but also private companies, and also we as a person, as people, as a part of the community. So I mean, and it's amazing how you can do great things here with this focus. And again, growing, as you mentioned, during these years.
That's fantastic results. I'm sure that there's a tremendous amount of work that you and your team put into this process, working with all of these different rating agencies, which, as a lot of investors know today and asset managers, each agency has its own protocols and way of reporting, and all of these things take time and a lot of effort, I'm sure, on your team's part. So that's great news to hear that's going the way that it is. Aurelio, industry trends that Enel is addressing directly include decarbonization, platform and digital development, and electrification. Tell our listeners how Enel America's sustainable value creation model interfaces with these industry trends.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's not easy. When we say decarbonization, it's not easy to, close a thermal plant or a coal plant, no? Because, for example, in countries like Colombia, we have a small coal plant, but it's a kind of it gives lots of value for the community there, right? They extract the coal and so on. But again, it's a huge work, because it's not only close the plant or sell the plant. We need to find ways for the communities to have to change to and also employees, to change their their work. Of course, we need to train. We need to create. We use a lot of circular economy models, right, in order to take also this concept of reuse things, reuse, and it's not recycling, but create an environment that communities can do business, small suppliers can do business for this process. So, first of all, this is the focus that we have in terms of decarbonization. We have a plan by 2027, close all our coal plants worldwide, not only in Latin America, right? Worldwide. And by 2040, to close all our gas plants also. Okay, this is a big effort. Sometimes it's when we see this environment today with the war and so on, people say you are crazy, but we really believe that we can do, and we can push, and we can convince competitors and push for the right prices in order to push for this kind of solution. So it's a big effort. So this is the first step. Second point is that we need to supply, and for you to have an idea, the average consumption in our region compared to US, where you are. Well, I'm in Chile, and compared to US. In our region, our consumption is around 25%, more or less. Okay, for what you in US, your consumption in US. People here lives in big cities. People lives in the biggest cities of the region. 80% lives, and a little bit more than 80% lives in big cities. So that's why we need to provide this clean energy to this customer base in order to push for electrification. We have plenty room to grow, but of course we need to provide and supply them with the clean energy. That's why we are developing this model of utility as a platform in the big cities. That's why we are developing also this charging business, also the electric vehicles, charging points business, electric vehicles business, smart lighting. Our cities, we have a lack of infrastructure, especially in light. So we are providing quality and efficient lighting process to the cities. We are providing also distributed generation. I mean, more and more people will produce their own generation, and we need to be a catalyst or to organize this market in our view, and not to block, because that's the future. I mean, organizing this and more a role as a DSO. So having this clean energy, bridge this into an integrated market, right? Integrated view, providing energy to our customers. And I mean customers, this is a B2C and B2B and B2G also, the governments also. Providing this, the uses more electrification. I mean, we improve the quality of cities. We are improving, of course, emissions. And of course, the cities we are improving. I mean, with this, we are reducing and supporting with reducing the inequality also. No, so this is our focus. This is how we use the green energy with and how can we transform this into uses for the people, right? So this is more or less our focus.
Thank you very much for that, Aurelio. Now, a major pillar of Enel Americas 2020 to 2024 company strategy is creating value, as you're suggesting, for the whole society through a massive energy transition, supported by electrification and digitalization, as you've also mentioned. Can you give us a couple of examples from the sustainable value creation model that address the company's overall strategy?
Yeah, well, you mentioned a lot the issue related to reporting, right? We disclose. We have a high standard of reporting. All we do, and not only financial but also non-financial, integrated form. So this is very important. Maybe I'm starting with the end, but report, measure. And it's a continuous improvement, right? For the reporting, this we do something that we do not see many industries doing, which is we provide the detail of all our tax contribution to each countries and what we are paying for it. Just for you to have an example, our EBITDA for this, it's around $5 billion US dollars, right? And in taxes, we pay 3.8, almost $4 billion all over the region. And we detail this. It's not an obliged report. It's called the total tax contribution, and we detail this. So we have this focus. I mentioned this because we have this focus of stakeholders capitalism, right? We are part of something bigger, not only providing value for the shareholders, of course, yes, also, but also providing value to the society, the communities, and so on. No? And disclosing this issue gives us also the power to advocate also, because we participate in the debates, right? For example, when we have a tax reform, we are having right now in Chile, a tax reform, and we contribute with our opinion in order to be constructive, right? And technically constructive during this process. I'm telling you this because sometimes companies stays like a tax. I don't know. I don't want to talk with tax. Tax is something that I don't want to show. But this is a game, a game that you need to be transparent, and also you need to be constructive and give your opinion, right? Of course, if the law, we are 100% compliant with the regulation and so on. But when we are discussing things as a company, it's part of our job and also to advocate, for example, reforms in terms of regulation, in terms of green energy. And a very good example, more bring it to the communities. One very beautiful project that we started in Ceará, which is in the northeast of Brazil, is we create an environment, or all the economic environment for the community to recycle their cans, aluminum, this kind of scrap, and exchange this for paying their bills, their energy bills. And this is not we are not into recycling business and so on, but we give the possibility for companies to create their own companies. So this, you see that this is a very good example of triple bottom line with the society, because we are recycling, we are increasing the possibility for communities to increase their income, and also create their possibilities for inclusion to reduce inequality. So and also profitable, and also a business that is profitable, which means that there are lots of examples that we need to do more. We need to do more, and we want to do it not only by ourselves. We need to have other companies with us, and we join to other companies' projects in order to do in a very more scalable. Because I think we need to scale this front of circular economy, circularity.
Aurelio, I'm going to interrupt you here because we're just about out of time for today's program, but I really want to thank you for giving us these examples and for taking the time in your busy schedule to be with us today. Where online can Sustainable Finance Podcast listeners learn more about Enel America's sustainable value creation model, and how can they get in touch with you with questions about decarbonization and other industry-related questions that we've discussed today?
Great, Paul. It's a pleasure. enelamericas.com, right? And also you can write me aurelio.oliveira@enel.com.
Okay, well, thank you once again, Aurelio Oliveira, CFO of Enel Americas, and to our sponsor, the Ceres Accelerator for Sustainable Capital Markets. The Ceres Accelerator is a center of excellence within Ceres that aims to transform the practices and policies that govern capital markets to reduce the worst financial impacts of the climate crisis. For more information, go to ceres.org/accelerator. And to our listeners, join us again next week for another episode. I'm Paul Ellis, and this is the Sustainable Finance Podcast.